Hello, everybody. It's Chad Warren. Hope you're well. Today is Thursday, December 5th, 9:10 a.m. Central Time. Um, where to start? So here I am at chadwarren.me. This is my website. I am trying to get people that are looking to create a better way of life outside of the controlled popular culture that's controlled by secret societies that control the religions and the politics and all of that, and especially the internet, which is where most of us spend too much time and it has too much control over us. But if we are going to be there, I think that we should have like a digital rights revolution that was like the American Revolution, only this time it's actually run by us instead of the Freemasons, even though the internet itself is all run by them. Because really, the topic of this today is that all of us are so inside the control of this druidic secret societies that's the question. How do you really get out of it? I don't think Christianity is really out of it. All right, so please support my work here at this website. And what I am trying to do in particular is I try to I need to figure out how to stop notifications and things from interrupting when I make these videos. It's a pain in the butt. Like you have to turn off each application one at a time. I mean, that's stupid. Why do they have a button for all the notifications if it doesn't turn them off? That's dumb. All right, so the Hebrew God Yahweh is Saturn, which is Satan. You know, the statue that's chewing its own children is the last article I have up there, but I have other YouTube content that's newer than that. So we have my vlog from yesterday talking about flea markets and the pallet tables that I'm trying to build. Unfortunately, I used the wrong debit card when I ordered these $30 legs for the table. So now I don't have enough money. I meant to use my debit card, but I didn't. But now I only have like $2 in my checking account. And I'm applying at jobs and on this wait list for Instacart, so I don't have any work. And gonna go look for something within bicycling distance of my house to save money with gas. Okay, I am in a tough situation that I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so that's that content there, and then this is something you may be interested in. This woman, Beth Martens. Trying to remember. I can't remember if I first saw her through James True or the RX Picture Show, but she is, a mentor that is using the archetypes like from Tarot, the hero's journey. It starts with the Fool, and I think, does it end with the King, maybe? But and she's really about, like you see her, trying to be the traditional positive force of feminine energy versus the CIA controlled feminism that's all about hating men, just like they have the Democrats hating white men, as if, last time I checked, it was their own African brothers that sold Africans into slavery here in the United States. And the Civil War was not about hating black people or being for slavery. It was about being against the same tyrants that the English, the foreign powers that were dominating our business, our economy, our culture here in America. The same thing as the American Revolution. So if you're smart enough, you figure out these things are bull jive, and then you try to do something about it. So she has a special mission to help men become leaders. And there is a Zoom call today. If you 24 questions, and it shows you, I was king. I don't know what the other options are. Yeah, James True definitely is where I met Beth Martens. Suicide rates are off the charts. I still haven't checked this out. She did a talk about that. I'm looking for her. Well, actually, just go to her page and even message her if you don't talk to her. But today there is a Zoom call that you can qualify for if you pre-order her book, which is like $20. And because, just personally, I'm always somebody that has tried and been fairly unsuccessful with internet marketing efforts. And then this parallels with the whole truth community, which is basically people that have websites, people that have podcasts, people that discuss, uh, you know, who's really in control in the world. And then the problem with that is that we're having to depend on other people for money to in selling these books and having these podcasts, and it's very questionable what actual value that any of us are providing. You know what I mean? Like network marketing, it's like they attract you with a product. Okay, you got these, like Dr. I was interested in longevity. Study of dead animals, and was contracted by the National Institute of Health to help. Originally, it was to. I don't know. Maybe it was if the living conditions and the food that if it was healthy or something like that. But in that process, he found out about the importance of trace minerals. Okay, in health. So the point is that sounds valid as a concept. You know what I mean? And then you look at the whole process of can you, like, yeah, you hear that vitamins are no good. It doesn't, you can't really encapsulate the nutrition of that in a form that because it's not fresh. But then now you go to Whole Foods or something or Kroger or wherever, and they have superfoods. You're getting like little berries, acai berries or whatever, acai berries or that kind of a thing. That's closer to the raw food ingredient, but it is packed full of nutrition. Just like how, something I picked up here in Little Rock is like black folks, eat greens. Well, that's the cheapest thing you can buy at the grocery store, and it's one of the most nutritious. Now it's real popular to have kale and but collard greens and all that. That's all awesome. Okay, so then when you get into one of those companies, they don't actually teach you how to market. They go, oh, well, now you need to have a website, and now you need to learn how to do Facebook ads or you're physically getting people together and all this kind of stuff. So then there's all these other people you got to pay money to for that. So it's a racket, you know what I mean? But the truth community, what are we doing? Because I was attracting everybody. Let's go over and look at this. I'll just read it. And so, what is this? This is Crypto Beast Shadow History, Two Secret Societies. This is Steve Outrim. His channel is Crypto Beast. Let's give you a little flavor of what that's like.
The humans were just slaves for the gods, there for their entertainment and pleasure and amusement. And they didn't want them to have fire because that technology could get out of hand. And indeed, that sort of seems like maybe that's what happened. Is ordinary people got access to fire, and suddenly, we weren't ruled over by the gods anymore. But as we're going to see in this presentation, getting into the secret societies, there are definitely rulers, and just because we don't see these gods doesn't mean that they're not with us anymore.
Okay, so that was a perfect place to tune into that. Here I am depending on the fire from this ceramic brick propane heater. $15 is what that costs at Walmart. You know what I mean? So, and I may be living in this camper with no uh, running water or electricity or heat or any of that. But here I am with my cell phone. It's just not really possible to get outside of the system. I don't care if you're Amish; you're not really outside the system. I mean, they have to pay taxes and this, that, or the other. Uh, and then they got the firemen. So obviously, like he goes on to discuss in that story, you had the earthquake of San Francisco in the early 1908 or something like that. But really, most of the damage was caused by fires. They set fires to destroy it, and that's probably, and that's funny because that's similar to the book Ray Bradbury, Fahrenheit 451, where in the future the firemen get rid of books, and then now we see in the digital age that I think it's very possible that we're all addicted to having this access to all kinds of content through the internet. And I think the obvious thing is that they're going to take that away, and that's what this December 10th COPPA YouTube situation is. But so beyond all of this discussing, and first of all, what does the truth movement do? It discusses Freemasonry. That's all it does. That's all you can do. So we may as well be in monk's robes in a church, working for them, only not getting paid. We don't have any culture of our own. You know what I mean? Bohemian Grove. It was a social club for the elites to mingle with journalists, artists, celebrities. And I'll just go ahead and just read what my comment is down here. I appreciate your contribution to public knowledge about how secret satanic societies run the world, Steve. Two questions dominate my thinking currently. Shouldn't we put religion and Trump in a box called fake rebel groups? I know Trump thanks his Kabbalah teacher. He has an award of the Tree of Life award from them, as I'm sure Steve knows. I think the idea that any of us exist outside the influence of this scheme is laughable. I thought the Church of the Subgenius was cool as a young person. He mentions that here. One night, while hanging out with older friends in high school, we changed a couple of signs for comedic effect. I assumed it was a trend, but I didn't know I was possibly influenced from a specific organization, as neither of us do. You know what I mean? People think they're Christian, and come on. It's all controlled. One sign, I don't remember what the church sign said originally. It was across from the mall in Hot Springs, but we changed it to "She wasn't cheap, but she was easy." I'm against our lives being controlled by secret societies, but that definitely includes Trump and Jesus. Second question, I have another article on there, showing Trump doing the bull sign, the Bible, the Baal, the hook 'em horns, and blah 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 with Jesse James on there, and he says he's a Mason in one of his videos. Trump does. Second question, maybe we should give up on this whole truther thing or fundamentally reorganize. I think we're doing more harm to ourselves and others than good. I tried to get people to focus on the lawyers committee that has sued the FBI over its shoddy 9/11 investigation, but I couldn't get any response out of people. So the Trump movement has destroyed the truth movement. He's fake, and so you can't get any action because they all kiss his ass. Why? Because that schmuck Trump has all these idiots convinced he's a superhero messiah that is going to challenge Cobra, the most ruthless terrorist organization in cartoons. He and Alex Jones ruined the truth movement. We have suffered tremendously going against the establishment and have no good to show for it. We hang out in this digital ghetto here at YouTube as if we were Jews in Nazi Germany. I do appreciate how you attempt to model professional behavior. Steve Outrim, I'm referring to. You are presentation on. But we need what Christians and Masons have: social clubs. I like Freeman Fly, but he too is an example of how this path proves that good men finish last. His wife left him for that depressed face douche Jay Dyer. I recently resubscribed to his podcast, but you have to notify him so he can allow you to access the member content. So I shared some of my personal feelings. I don't mean to betray his confidence, which I don't think I am, because I think he's said this stuff many times. He hasn't left the house in years. He bought a house so he wouldn't have to depend on others who aren't dependable, I presume. He also said that you can't talk to anybody at a coffee shop, and I noticed that just the other day. I've gone to nice local ones, Mugs Coffee, which very nice people that work there. But you're in this big room, and here's a whole office of people that already know each other. They're talking to each other. Come on now. I'm very open to talk to strangers, which makes people uncomfortable. They're always like, are you talking to me? Like, yeah. I thought we were all part of humanity. I believed in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. You know what I mean? It pisses me off that's just a bunch of horse shit. The people don't. Yeah. It just frustrates me. I am so thankful that Freeman was honest with me. I appreciate his optimism. I really do, talking about the Celestine prophecy and looking at an object and imagining you see an aura off of it. Yes, I totally get that magic is based on focusing on the immaterial, imaginal, mental realm. This is Kabbalism, the concept. And that from the idea, you make food, or you make a building, or an invention. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a fact. So it is important about your being aware of we are projecting our worldview as much as we're receiving it, right? So be positive, that kind of a thing. So, but I'm open to all kinds of things, and I have experienced synchronicities and all kinds of amazing things. But if I don't see an aura off of there, maybe there's no aura there. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody. We know people that are more able to convince themselves of their own fantasies, and then eventually that. And I certainly question where I am and where this whole truth movement is. We want to change, but we don't know how. I appreciate him admitting he doesn't know what to do to achieve these goals for a better life that we have. He felt betrayed by his friends, and he talked about David Icke stealing his whole first message about Freemasonic corporate logos, and then David called it Illuminati corporate logos. I think that's true. I think that that's crappy. My friend, who I work on a project to buy cheap land and put a camper on it, aiming towards developing an off-grid community, said He was uncomfortable with my posts about controversial subjects, that it would harm our business endeavors. I said I didn't appreciate him censoring my speech since he knows my position already, but he's right. I couldn't get a job at a damn convenience store because I failed a drug test for weed. Going against the system. I could get a medical exemption, I suppose, but I'd have to give up my right to own firearms and say I had a mental health issue of anxiety or something. I live in a camper under a tree, like Chris Farley had the joke about living in a van down by the river. I'm asking if other people feel that we need to get more serious about what our priorities are in creating an alternative culture that isn't controlled by secret societies. We need to focus on job and business training as well as networking. Just like the Masons created firemen, we need to create a new role in society. Please help me use my website to organize our community. It will be a blessing if we have to leave YouTube. Please leave comments here, and you can find me at Telegram, this at Vector Victor. Download that. That's private, and you can share. I think whole movie files and all. There's all there. Look up a video that shows you why Telegram is better. I'm is run by Facebook that has all this problem with data breaches. So I think it blanked out there. I saw the video move. So go check out Telegram at Vector Victor. Get a hold of me so we can organize and I can support you and you can support me, that kind of a thing. And at ChadWarren76 at Twitter and Chad.Warren1 at Facebook. And of course, ChadWarren.me is my website. So that is it. Please go to chadwarren.me and hit the turquoise button there to contribute through PayPal to help me organize the truth community. Check out the lawyers committee that has sued the FBI. Don't support Trump. He's a chump. What are you going to do when he's gone? You know what I mean? And are you against government or are you pro-government? You know what I mean? That's just stupid. You can't become president without the Masons saying it's okay. And they're all controlled. They are the banksters. You've got a central bank. You don't have a nation that's separate from globalism. You're mentally ill. We're here using the damn internet that's freaking connects people around the globe. This is stupid. Is there a national internet? No. Stupid. People in China are smarter than you using a virtual private network and getting on the internet when the state says no. Wake up.